So I'm going to look at some technical aspects to help practice a piece from the current piano grade 2 syllabus, C2, Angelfish by Anne Crosby Gaudet. And I'm going to look at two methods. One is called chunking, and I explain in a minute what that means. And the other one is how to negotiate and practice jumps, which happen a few times in this piece. Chunking is a term coming from learning psychology, and it means you combine smaller elements into a bigger one. As in, fish is made up of 4 letters, F-I-S-H. And by combining those 4 letters, a bigger unit is achieved, and actually it means something all of a sudden. And in music, there's millions of ways to explain chunks and to find them. But in this particular one, I'm looking at hand positions in this piece. The right hand has a lot of figures like that. As in terms of hand position, it's always the same thing. And this is sometimes what I do. I just contract them, play them all at once. And even with the left hand, so I completely forget the timing for a bit, and I go like that. This is bar the beginning. And it clears up. My hand is here, my left hand is moving up and down across the right hand, and it makes the clutter in my head go down a little bit, because I don't have to think exactly where the 3 notes go. That is the next step, obviously. There's also even a combining movement. You're going up, you're going down. So there's an overlaying movement over the 3 notes. It's not just ding, 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 but it's got a direction, even like flowing movement, like the fish suggest. So I can practice this piece in this way and more easily combine the left and right hand, or I can then take the timing. Lots of ways to chunk in different ways, or to simplify one thing to make it easier to feel the flow of the piece. That is important also in bar 17. The left hand in 17 has 4 E's in a row, 4 minims. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's 4 notes. They're all E's, so that's a mental chunk. The next 2 bars, same thing with D's. And that's interesting. And the other thing is that the right hand is doing the 3 notes again. And the next step, of course, is then to break it up into its normal, the music, to play it as written. So, but my hand now knows where it's going, and it's much easier to play, to just break it down into the notes that are written and not played as one cluster chord. That is the chunking that can really help us technically. The next aspect is the leaps, and that happens around that same place, which is 17, 18, then 19, 20, and at the end of each of the 2 bars is a leap. So here we've got 17, and we need to get to the D in bar 19. So the aspect is to zoom in on that, and I go from the E, left hand, to the D, and I go back and forth. With pedal or without, doesn't matter. The main thing is to feel what is a good movement to get me from here to here, and to go backwards in the movement is really helpful as well. And then I can time it. So just play around that leap, and you can add more notes either way, start earlier, finish later. And that is a good way to practice leaps. One way to do that. And the next leap I'd like to discuss, the very last one. The last bar has a low left note, last 2 bars has a low left note going over both of them. So I need to find my way from the right hand thumb here to these 2 notes up here. And the first thing is, if it's 2 notes, I want to concentrate on one of the fingers. So since I'm playing the thumb here, I think it's easiest for me to concentrate finding that C up here with my thumb again. So it's two places where the thumb is playing, and make sure my span is allowing for the sixth note interval between C and the A up here. So, and same as before, jumping back and forth, but this time also going quicker than we need to go. It's not a fast piece, we're going slow, we're slowing down at the end of the piece, but I don't want them slowing down to be dependent on my movement. So I'm just going to go quickly from that A to that chord up here, as quick as you can. Maybe you can not do it as quick yet, but you can quickly yet, but you can learn it. And also, like I said before, the opposite way. And one thing about leaps is not to be afraid of it. So if it goes wrong, just notice, oh, I've gone too far, or I haven't really caught the notes because I had a bit of a sort of extra note in there. So too far, not far enough, and just notice it without putting any judgment on it. It's just a movement. Okay, this is how far I need to go. Another maybe quirky idea is to close your eyes. That's not far enough, this is far enough, and just play until your hand remembers, because there's a muscular memory in our arms that helps us during the leaps. So I hope that is going to be helpful.